Hi, Karen Hadley here from New Zealand with this month's Global Stamping Video Hop. This month we're going to be sharing with you one of our favourite things, or more than one favourite thing, which I've got more than one to share with you today, from the new Mini Catalogue, which is so exciting. So I am going to flip over and not waste any time getting started, but I just wanted to remind you to make sure that you click on the next person's video to get some fantastic ideas on some amazing products in the new Mini Catalogue. So let's get going. So yes, the new Mini Catalogue, isn't this just so exciting? Now, I'm sure you have all seen inside the catalogue at the beautiful, beautiful products that we have. Now, I want to share with you, it is something that was released a little bit earlier, but not everything was released. It is part of the Dandy Garden Suite. Now, the Garden Wishes stamp set has a bee in it. So, of course, I immediately had to put this on my list with the bee and just love it. So we're going to make something with this suite today, or this stamp set basically, and some of the designer series paper. And the other thing I wanted to share with you, and it is on page 70, and don't miss these because these are amazing. These would be my all-time favorite item in this Mini Catalogue. So I'm going to show you how to use them today, and I absolutely love them. So let's get started. Now, I'll just grab a scrap bit of paper, which I've just got down there, because we are going to be using the brushes. So as I said, we're going to be using this stamp set, and it is red rubber, and I am not stamping the bee because the wonderful designer series paper actually has one side of the pieces covered in bees, which match the dies for this suite perfectly. So these are the dies, and I have cut a couple out using this, which is for the bee. So you do get extras in this die as well, some lovely shapes that you can use. So I have cut out the dies ahead of time, but we are also using some of the other paper. So this is the reverse side. There's some lovely patterns and colours on the reverse side, and the other side, of course, you have the more dragonflies, and I've got them all a bit mixed up now. I've been using these quite a bit. The dragonflies and the plants, all quite abstract, absolutely beautiful. And once again, always check the back of your cardstock in your designer series paper pack for all the colours that are used in the pack. Okay, let's pop that to one side, that to one side. So I have watched a video recently, Rhonda Wade I think it was, and she did this fancy little fold, and I thought I'd share this with you today because it is actually quite simple, and I thought sometimes it's just nice to have something a little bit different. So it is just the standard tent fold in half, and then folded back on itself again in half, like so. So really easy, but just something a little bit different. And I have then, so that is in Seaside Spray. Sorry, should tell you what it is. Seaside Spray. And this is in the Misty Moonlight. And this is just the matte 5 centimeters all round smaller. And this is some of the designer series paper. And we are going to be just adhering that to there. Let me pop that on. And set that aside. So that is going to go on the top here, and the card will then open up like so. So let's pop that over there, and let's get started with some blending. So I have used some shimmery white paper, and I have used the stitched shaped dies, and I've used the second to largest circle, and I'll just show you. I've got them all here. I've used the second to largest circle in the stitch shaped framelits. I've used these so much, I must admit. Been one of my all-time favorite dies. Now I have got the brushes here, so I have kept this one for blue and this one for green. You can work it however you want. You can wash these and they do dry well, but I've found just by brushing them off, you have no color come off. You can use them again for another blue. You're not going to get the mix. So I'm going to start off with some balmy blue. Now it's the same with any kind of colouring that you do. Always ink up and start off the paper, off your cardstock, and just tap gently to get rid of any blobs that you might have. And this is so soft. One of the things that you need to do when you get these, honestly, this is so soft. It is absolutely so gentle and wonderful. It is so nice. I had a friend come over to do some crafting, and she hadn't seen the brushes, and I gave her one to have a feel, and she was just rubbing it across her face the whole time, and I kept trying to talk. No, I haven't finished playing with this brush yet. So yes, it is really, really soft and lovely. So I am just building up the colour and just starting off and building on to the shimmery white. Now I've used shimmery white because I'm just going to flick some water on it as well, which of course works much better with watercolour paper or shimmery white, which is also a watercolour paper. So you just build it up until you're happy with the amount of colour. There's no stop time, start time, if you know what I mean. You just keep going until you're happy with the level of colour that you have popped on. So I'm now going to change to green, and I'm going to use granny apple green for this. So a bit of granny apple green, it's nice and bright and happy. Same thing. Try and not put your fingers, if you can, right on the middle, because oil from your fingers can affect how the blends go on. So do try to hold it to the side. Another thing you can do is colour a piece of paper and then cut it out. But for today's purposes, I just thought I would cut out the shape ahead of time. This colour, as you can see, goes on a lot quicker. And you can always come back to add more. So that's the granny apple green. And I might just add a little bit more blue. But see how quick and smooth, see how smooth that colour goes on. Okay, let's do a bit more of the blue. And I'm going to flick some water over that. I quite like that look, but that is not something that you necessarily have to do. It's just something that I like to add. So I'm just going to make sure there's some water on the tip and just flick it on. There we go. There. And I'll set that aside to dry, and we can put the rest of the card together. So pop that up there. The other thing I want to colour, actually, while I've got the blending brushes out, as part of this Dandy Garden Suite, you also get these laser cut papers. Now, I'm pretty sure that's what they're called. Let me double check. Dandy laser cut paper, there we go. So all sorts of different shapes. You have a dragonflies, you have flowers, leaves, and you have some card base elements. So you can just leave these white or colour them in and have them as part of your card base and layer up from there, or just as is with a sentiment. We're going to be using one of these circles today, and I'm going to place that underneath our blended cardstock. So, okay, let me just take this out of the way and I will grab this. So this is the circle. I've popped the circle out because I'm going to be using the one that we have coloured, and I am just going to blend that. Now I started and then thought I would obviously share it with you, so stopped again. Just to show you how quick and easy it is to use it for this sort of thing as well. It doesn't have to be sort of blending colours together. You can use it to colour in a project or an element that you have. So I'm just using the Granny Apple Green again. I'm not worried about getting an even color. I'm just going around with it, and the depths of colour in the different places are quite good. So okay, you won't see much of that ring, but there we go. Let's start putting some of this together. Back to the base. I will just pop a bit of glue on the top here, so I don't get it wrong on the card base. And I'm going to pop that on. Making sure it is even. There we go. And I am also going to do the inside. Now, another great idea that Rhonda had in her live that she shared with us demonstrators was to use every bit of the designer series paper that you cut up, and she added a bit at the top here, and use the Stitch So Sweetly dies as the insert. Just adds a nice little shape rather than just a white square. And I thought that was a fabulous idea. And this is the largest Stitch So Sweetly die. Just pop that in the middle. And then I am going to use one of those bees that I told you I pre-cut. And I am going to pop that on as well. There we go. Okay, now let's grab the one that is dry. I am going to, so this is the green that we coloured and the blended circle, which fits, as you can see, perfectly on here. I am going to just run a little bit of glue, not much. Obviously I don't want it coming out everywhere. Just a few dots. There we go. And I am going to pop that up on dimensionals. So let's just quickly pop some on. Stuck to my nail, that's not very good. and go there. Where's another one? This is the end. I like to use every little bit, of course. So you can create quite different looking cards with all these elements. And the designer series paper. Okay, whoops. Now I'm going to use, this is actually a pool party, I think, but because it's a beautiful sheer ribbon, it picks up the blue of whatever you put it on. Like, it will just go with any blue, and I really like this ribbon. It is not in the mini catalogue, it is in the annual catalogue, but it is definitely one of my favorites. It is with the Water Sweet, and I can't remember the name offhand. I've got it Whale of a Time, and I have used that a lot as well. That is beautiful. So I'm just going to tie a little bow. And I will get a glue dot, and I'm going to pop that on there. I'll put the rest of this on first. So another element that I have grabbed from the die cut, laser cut, is this flower. I think it's, I'm not quite sure what flower it would be, but I do like the shape. And I'm going to just pop that on there as well. And then, of course, I have my bead to pop on. And I will get a couple of little black ones for that. Oops. Gosh, my nails must be due for a trim, I think. They're getting in the way. And I'll pop that up there. Okay, now I have pre-cut out the sentiment. I've used this from the stamp set, and Made with Love for a True Friend. I think that is just gorgeous. So I didn't want one big block. So one thing you can do, as you can see, the stamp is straight. This top lettering is uniform, which is easy to cut out, and then you cut around the letters for the True Friend. And if you don't want a block that you think might just look too big, cutting it into two pieces like that just really does break it down and make it look a little bit more delicate for your card, if that's what you're needing. And I am going to just trim this down. So as I say, I use all my bits of dimensionals. Where would we be without them? Okay, so I'm going to pop that one there. Actually, I'll pop that on a little bit around the wrong way. Come back here, because the sky is a bit crooked. There we go. Not that it really matters, but you know. Now I've put that on crooked as well. And I'm going to use a little bit more for those bits there. Very tiny. Actually, I might glue that bit on. Let's have a look if that's flat. because half of it is going to be coming off. So let's just glue this on there. And then I can pop a little bit of a dimensional under there just to keep it from flapping around too much. Gets a bit fiddly. Okay. And pop that down. Perfect. Okay, bow. I'm not the best bow tyer in the world. Some people that tie beautiful bows. Okay. Make that a bit smaller, I think. Yep, and I'm going to use a glue dot. And just grabbing them. Okay. I'm going to pop that there. And a little bit smaller still. There we go. That's better. Bigger tails. I'm really having issues here today. It just shows it happens to all of us. There we go. Now the trick is, if you want your bow to sit in a particular place, glue dots actually can be put anywhere to assist that to happen. There we go. Perfect. And the last thing, of course, you've got to have the embellishments. These are the blue adhesive backed gems that were in the Christmas catalogue, and I am just going to use them for this. There we go. So cute. And get them off. And pop one up there, I think, just a little one. And that is the card. So I have really enjoyed using these blends. I was so excited to see them in the mini catalogue. So I really do hope that, now a bit of Winker Stella, I've got to add a bit of Winker Stella. I do hope that you feel inspired to get the blends, because you will absolutely love colouring with them. And I would love to see anything that you make using the blends or this suite. So I hope you enjoy. Make sure you click on the next person